Welcome to the stream. Let's go, nerds. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I just realized I didn't have my preview up, so I can't see myself. Can't have that. There it is. Hi. I swear this Elgato prompter has me spoiled. I don't have to look at a monitor anymore to see my... Well, it is a monitor. But I get to look at you guys when I talk. But I'm like talking to myself. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Brayathorn. Happy to see y'all here. Yo, Steels113, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Swarm. Sub for 2 months, currently on a 2-month streak. Strong, going strong. Appreciate that. What's up, Crash? How's it going? Giving the Borderlands franchise another chance. Been having a great time with it. I saw that, I don't know, one of the recent games has a built-in benchmark. I was kind of interested in that, but yeah. Sheriff Folds. Hey, Mr. Bray. Hello, Mr. Sheriff Folds. Oh, 15 bucks. Not bad. Not bad, Crash. What is up, YouTube chat? How are y'all doing? Dave, how are you? Anton, welcome. Sailor, glad to see you. Nautical Wolf 7, welcome. Steve, good to see you. Frost Aiden, how are you? Gentle Stone, welcome. Robert Fixit, welcome in. And Alice, welcome. How's it going? It's my name, not my job, Sheriff. Okay, cool. Hope I was doing all right, Bray. Yeah, I actually was a little bit late for stream because she's being moved to the physical rehabilitation, and we were waiting all day because I had to take her her stuff over there. She's gonna be there for a while, and they moved her right 30 minutes before stream. So I took her stuff over there. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't stay. And like, no, go do your thing. She's doing great. Wukong game looks really good. It does look interesting. Sarif. Okay, I see. Sarif. Interesting. That's not how it's spelled in the name, though. But yeah, I understand, Crash. I understand, and that's I do hesitate to bring it up for that reason. But yeah. There have been a few scares for sure. For my mom. Frost Aiden said, hey Bray, just wanted to thank you again for the part list. My PC's been fully built for almost a week now. It's better than I could ever imagine. That's awesome, Frost Aiden. That is very cool. Show it off in the Discord in the Rigs channel. I promise I will go in there and do a video sometime. Would you guys... Here's the thing. I see these videos where content creators are roast their own community. I don't know if I feel that. I mean, of course, with the job that I have, I'm constantly disconnecting, reconnecting things. But my cable management for my desk is not good. I have a lot of cables and lights and cameras and stuff like that. So don't feel like I could judge somebody on their cable management. But that's the #1 thing. It feels weird to me. I don't know if you guys would want me to do that. It would be mostly oh, that's awesome. And if you say anything about your build in the Rigs channel, I would comment on that. I think it'd be a fun video to do. Gentle Sun says, love people building systems I can't afford maybe one day. It's something to strive for sure. By the way, I might speak a little oddly because 2 days ago I bit my cheek right by my molars, and I can't really close my teeth that well without risking biting it again. So you might hear me speak a little oddly there. Sorry about that. It's a glorious day when we see the magic microphone on stream. Absolutely love this thing. Listen to that handling noise. There's no handling noise on this thing. Very little anyway. Thank you, Robert. I'm glad you like it. I do too. It's cheaper than SM7B. Cable management, got to plan a day for it. Yeah. Angry Beaver, welcome. How's it going? Silent Furies, Braithorn, how's it going? Went to Best Buy today. Got an open box HP Omen desktop for $432. Oh, that's good. That's great for that price. Yeah. It's not a bad deal. I mean, the CPU, the GPU, those are all going to be standard parts. Although HP will make their own 16. Oh, it's a 1660 Super. Yeah. Okay. Right. That's 1080p gaming. moderate settings that should be able to play most things. There's a hot take to say I still love watching The Walking Dead. I gave up on it after a while when it got kind of stale. So I used to watch it. Not a hot take to say an opinion of a thing you like if it was a massively popular thing. 1 stick of RAM. Well, that's easily remedied, Wolfcross. You're going to want to see what's compatible with that because they're going to have a proprietary BIOS on there. Virtue, hey Bray, I don't know if you can help me, but I just got Windows, and right after I installed the drivers and files, my PC monitor flashes. Now I can't boot into Windows. I don't know that I can help you with that. That sounds like a troubleshooting thing that you're going to want to do. Virtue, you know how it is? Doing the live stream, I can't really sit here and troubleshoot with you. I don't have, like, I'm not exactly going to remote in on, and I can't actually. Once you can't boot into Windows, it's really hard to get any kind of remote support because they can't exactly log in to help. If you're I mean, did you build it yourself? Is it from a system integrator? You know, I don't remember. Observer of Thoughts, what's up, Raythorn? What is up, the Observer of Thoughts? How are you? Short game, hello. How's it going? Robert Fixit, people like to be roasted. It's fun, although some of them are staged for extra roasting points. I have seen that, yes. Yeah, it's a thing. They're paying Bray. Yesterday, one of my fillings fell out of a molder. Ooh, that sounds terrible. What about walking Deadpool? He does do a lot of walking in the latest movie, which Ari and I did go and watch. We haven't had much time to go out and just do stuff, and it was a great day. What a fantastic movie. But they do a lot of walking in it. So, crossover? It's a comic book. Can you recommend some Texas-based custom PC companies? I can, Nautical Wolf. I certainly can. But there's a few of them, and they're each a little bit different. So give me a little bit more info in the forum, and I can help you out. That helps me sort of determine. Virtue, you're gonna get better help if you go through the Discord, and this is basically what I tell everybody. It's not like I'm saying, you're on your own. No, we have an entire tech discussion, tech questions forum where volunteer techies can help you out for free. But the stream is not the place for troubleshooting because I don't have the tools or the time to do it here, because troubleshooting can take a long time. I mean, your best bet is to, it could be an issue with your storage, you know, but when your Windows isn't working, we have no, you need special diagnostic tools to figure out what's going on with the Windows installation, so. Sheriff says, I'm filling out the forum for my son. He's an FPS gamer, so he's going to run 1080. A little unclear on what the budget should be for something like that. I could do 3 to 4K, no problem, but he has a 240 hertz, and I don't want to overbuy for an esports rig. Yeah, esports rig does not need to come anywhere near 3 to 4,000. Not at all. No. Set the budget at 2,000 if you want to go high end for really high refresh rate 1080p, but you can go up to 2,500. Like, you can throw a 4090 in there if you want, but that's kind of a waste. It also depends on whether you're going to go with an AMD or NVIDIA GPU. And if you're going to go with an AMD GPU, you're going to get a lot more frames per second per dollar. So if you do 2,500, we can do a maxed out AMD rig. 7800X 3D, 7900X TX for the most part. You don't need to go near 4,000. It's going to depend. It could go a little higher than that, but whatever the budget is, I'm not just going to make you spend all of it. Wouldn't do that. The chat has seen me plenty of times. Someone comes in with a massive budget, and I'm like, you don't need to do that for 1440p gaming only, or whatever the case is. You know, that kind of stuff. So, put your actual maximum budget. Go ahead and do that, and I'll keep that in mind. Because you're going to have to put 1080p game. You're going to put gaming, esports. You know, we don't have to go with the full amount there, unless you want to go boutique and you want to go like he's doing, because there are dual mode monitors. There are monitors that have, you know, like 240 or over 300 hertz 1080p mode, and an actual a switch that turns it to native 4K 144 or something like that for your AAA titles, things like that. And then you do need a really crazy, not sponsored by Canada Dry. I turned it around and there's another, wow, well played, Canada Dry. Okay, there we go. Not sponsored. 2,800 bucks got me OP 1440p gaming. That'll do it. To be fair, Angry Beaver, when you're talking about esports, I mean, it needs to be capable of high-end 1440p in order to get extremely high-end 1080p, because frames win games. I mean, skill mostly does, but frames win games, and that's, I mean, Shroud plays on a 4090, but then again, he's part owner of Main Gear now, so why wouldn't he, right? OP overpriced. I'm pretty sure that Angry Beaver meant overpowered. That's what that acronym is. Well, Sailor X, when I was in Vancouver, it did rain a little bit, so. Pop Culture Principle says, Braithorn, thank you again for your help with my build. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and it's running great. When I picked up the rig, had a few minutes and showed the rep one of these vids. Oh, cool. Okay. He said your build suggestions for me were spot on and was surprised you did this for free. Yep. As many times as I've been like, yeah, I'll if you guys want to do this off stream during my personal time, I'll charge for it. I have yet to do that. And I've gotten emails from people who are like, oh, the music's too loud. Sorry. There we go. Gotten emails from people who are like, hey, I need help. Can you help me? I'll pay. And I always say, just come to the stream and I'll do it for free. And that's fine when things are good. It's cool to have your solid moral compass and your you know, pointing the right way. But man, when those bills come due and it's a lean month, it's like, hey, maybe accept the offer for payment. And but you know, here's my thing. I started this during the pandemic and the shortages and the crypto boom and all that. And people just wanted to get PCs and they were paying so much more than retail. It was ridiculous. There was no getting around it. And I was like, when I started doing the streams, I was like, look, people are paying too much already. I'm not going to make that worse. In fact, my goal is to give them a discount code as a way of supporting me rather than paying me to talk about computers, which I would do anyway. I don't know. I like this. This is fun. It's fun for me. Would you recommend Nautical Wolf? Would you recommend overclocking your CPU? And if so, what are the disadvantages of doing so? I wouldn't recommend that. No. I'll put it this way, Nautical Wolf. If you need to ask that question, you probably shouldn't do it. And here's why. Because overclocking is not going to help you. It's not going to give you value. Okay? You are, in a way, unless your PC is very well set up for, in a way, you are shortening the longevity of your parts, very likely, for diminishing returns. Very small bumps in performance. If you're an extreme enthusiast, you wouldn't be asking me that question, and you would already know that you're into it and you want to do that. The other part of it is there is a little bit of risk that comes with it. But here's the final nail in the coffin for overclocking IMHO. Most silicon is already pushed to its limits. Look what was going on with Intel. Okay? They don't leave a lot of room for overclocking anymore. If you look at the OC GPUs that you can get, they barely give you any extra frequency, any extra performance at all. There used to be a lot more room for that because it's like an arms race now. between AMD and Intel, and look what's going on. Look what happened. Like, Intel has their problems, now AMD has their own problems, and it's really frustrating. Soldier Boy, in a few years when I buy a new PC, I'll be so excited. Next one will look as good as it performs. Aesthetics can be a major component. But Pop Culture Principle, I appreciate you getting that feedback, because when it comes, I guess I'm guessing that was a Micro Center thing. When it comes to Micro Center builds, I never know what they're going to think. I like the idea of them being like, oh, this is a great build, and just give you all the credit. I'm cool with that. But sometimes I get curious. Jeez. Really did a number on myself there. Yeah, no, Ray JK. All good. What's up, Naruto? How's it going? Saw that Pixio has a 34-inch 1440p monitor. It looks tempting. I really need to get that posted. All I'm stuck on the Pixio of it is I didn't cover the OSD in my main recording. I just need to get a quick clip of me using it and explaining that it's basic. There's nothing special about it. That's it. And then I can put that video out. I've kept Pixio waiting for a while too. No, it's not sponsored or anything, so it doesn't matter. I post it whenever I want to, but and that's the thing about anytime someone sends me something, there's stuff in there's language in my like rate card and stuff, the card with my rates and whatever, you know, if someone wants to sponsor and all that. It's like, hey, if you send me something for free, there's no guaranteed video. It's not sponsored, there's no contract. So like, but I really want to put out that video. It's a great monitor. I'm not worth going 1080p in 2024 unless your son plans to be a pro player, says Dirty Butt. That's what they want to do. They said they want to do esports. Dirty. So that's, yeah. But I mean, it doesn't matter. You use whatever monitor resolution you want. At least you said IMO to let people know that it is in your opinion. Otherwise, I don't know, like that saying things that I disagree with is illegal. Illegal. Straight to jail. That's fine. Yes, he did. All right, here we go. I could do 3 to 4K, no problem, but he has 240 hertz, and I don't want to overbuy for an esports rig. This is why I do what I do. I read all this stuff, and I sort it all out, collate all the data, and words pop out. That's the Nightshade Plus on GPUs. Just get the cheaper one and OC it yourself with Afterburner. Also, hi, Bray. Thank you for the greeting, Deathly Nightshade. How are you doing? Overclocking in 2024 is not the same as overclocking in 2014. Very true. Look, these chips are coming with like max frequencies for AMD 5.7 gigahertz and 6 for the i9 for Intel. That's bananas. As of like 2 years ago, that's crazy. Not even 10 years ago. 2. It was only a few years ago that they were like, we broke 5 gigahertz reliably, and everybody was like, oh, now we see 5.7. Wow, get good. Wow. No, it's actually kind of crazy that we just live with that. Whenever I see reviews and there's charts and there's a CPU in the middle of the chart and people are like, that sucks. No, it doesn't. No, that's crazy what it's doing. And like, look at how it has more than 1 or 2 cores, guys. No, that's old me talking. But like, even then, I'll see like, oh, in the game that I like, or in this game, it's only like 6th place. Okay, go look at Blender. How does it do with Blender? Oh, it's on the top of the chart. Yeah, maybe the 9950X is actually kind of crazy in its own way. But maybe AMD shot themselves in the foot when they said, oh, we need core parking on a non-3D Vcast chip. it's always with the caveats. I'm all here defending it, and then I'm like, no, it's also bad, but it's also great. But that's PC parts. That's PC parts in a nutshell. Oh, excellent. Good luck to his son. That's what I like to see, Dirty Butt. Absolutely. Missed my fix on Tuesday. Sorry about that. My mom was having surgery. And if you follow my Twitter or the announcements channel on the Discord, you'll know these things. Hey, Bray, Sailor said a while back. Sorry, Sailor. Are you saving up for Computex next year? I'm trying to pay my rent right now and not have my car repossessed. It is lean times right now. Like bad. But Computex, maybe. I'm hoping to get help again for it. More like on the official sponsorship side rather than the sort of behind the scenes help that I got last time, which was very appreciated. Very much appreciated. Robert Fixit, wife gets mad at me for charging a flat $25 diagnosis fee in person for everyone. I just want to be fair to those who don't have tons of money, or else they would go somewhere else. The thing about it is, you charge too much for something if you don't want to do it. That's how I see it. You know, you don't charge too much so that only certain people can. It's like you're going to be turning away business. And I don't have much time for like doing certain things, but you know, definitely Nightshade, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, hold on. I got this. I'm trying to. I was exaggerating a little bit. Okay, not really, but still. Thank you, Deathly Nightshade, for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. That's a tier 1 sub for Neo Rex, Stocky Jack, Sharif Folds, and Iozu, and Lisa and 20. Let's go, nerds. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the swarm. And thank you to Jackal7 Sap for the 1,000 biddies. Holy Toledo. For your great work and your car. Thank you. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Wait, does that work now? It does not. I have to turn it off. Okay. Gotta fix that. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. What's up, Jazzman? How's it going? Six gigahertz. We can always go back to the future, Marty. Says Dodger Dog. Yeah, we're getting there. Braythorn, yes, mine was a Micro Center build, and he did give you major props. He said those were the exact parts he would have chosen for a build. Very cool, very cool. Nice to know. Very satisfying to know that. Observer thoughts. Would you check out the pre-built game? Okay. Observer thoughts. Trying to skip around the form. Please fill out the form. I don't know if it's good for. First off, I don't have every pre-built memorized. I'd have to look that up, which is fine. But I don't know whether I'll be able to tell you whether it's, I guess, objectively okay. Because, I'm going to tell you, okay, first off, let me just put it this way. No, because cyber power. Cyber power, sure, parts, look at that price. Okay, but their service sucks. And that's what you're going to be experiencing for years after your purchase. If they fix their service, we'll talk. But they've been in what, 3.5 years, 3 years. I don't know how long I've been doing this. I don't even know what I did last week. Whatever. In that long, however long it was, they still pretty much like almost every other SI has reached out to me at this point. All of them except Cyberpower. And I talked about them in like 30 videos over the span of SI Weekly. Not a peep, not a word. I guess they don't want my scrutiny for some reason. I wonder why that is. Oh, it's already over, Deathly Nightshade. Sorry about that. Besides, some people missed it anyway because ad break was in progress. Thank you for the help with getting more people to help not have to watch those. Observer Thoughts has been here before though, so Deathly Nightshade, they should know how that works, but sometimes you just want a quick answer. But I don't really put stock in quick answers. Quick answers are not what you want for multi-$1,000 decisions. You want thought to be put into it, which is what I do. I used Build Redux and it's been perfect. Soldier Boy, question for you. Did you use their TD500 mesh case or the newer case with the side intake and all that? Basically the Y40 clone case. Sailor says, I won't even suggest you take Raid Shadow Legends money or Clash of Clans. I played Clash of Clans for a little bit and it was okay. Clash Royale was better, I think, but I just don't have time for that kind of stuff anymore. It was a pretty fun little game. It's all good, Observer Thoughts. You're good. You're good. TD500 case, good. Okay. My only complaints, other than the case, which apparently, according to them, I honestly don't know whether I should take this with a grain of salt. They're going to be getting the tooling changed for the new case because, God, watch that unboxing. I was floored with how badly designed the airflow was on the new case. Like, how do you just get that wrong? If you're going to copy an aesthetic, copy the performance too. Like, that's actually the important part. But also their drives, their storage drives and their RAM are behind the times when it comes to the speeds, specs, and they told me they would change those like 6 months ago, and they have not. I get it. I understand if it's a little bit of work to work with your distributor to get new allocation of new parts and get it all approved by the big papa company, Digital Storm. Good Lord, we know they're not too keen on getting the latest technology. They're just a premium brand, Digital Storm, but it is whatever. Braethorn, are you be able to tell me how many people are in queue and how many builds are you to complete every stream? Are you able to complete? I'm probably able to do that. Thanks for asking. When you help me build my future computer, I'll kick down some of the money you save me. You don't have to do that. You guys never have to do that. If I help you save money, put it into a monitor, put it into a keyboard. You don't need to kick any of that back my way. If you use a discount code, I'm very clear about this all the time. Those are affiliate codes, and they do help me do what I do. In fact, that's like, that's why I'm able to do this, is because you guys use my coupon codes at SIs that we basically, through y'all's feedback, verify that they're good. Seriously, you guys make all of this possible. But yeah, Dirty But I have to basically go in and check who has filled out the form. I got to do a roll call, see who's actually here, who's on the list, and I haven't done that yet. So I will get to that soon. I'll usually get like 5 or 6 builds done per night, but that's usually as many people as there are waiting. So. Yeah, 12700K and 3080 Ti in 2022. That was a good build. Now with the new microcode, you could consider doing something like, if it's doing everything you want, by the way, don't ever upgrade anything until you feel like you need it. Like, whoa, this new DLC is running kind of stinky. Maybe it's time to upgrade my CPU, upgrade my GPU. You don't need to do that. Oh, I'm going from 1440p to 4K. The 50 series came out. I skipped a whole generation. This is the way to do it. Bam. Go from 30 to 50. Done. But, once we validated the microcode update, which I haven't installed it yet, which is probably a huge mistake on my part. But I did get the latest BIOS before that, and it helped a lot with stability. We haven't had any more streams crash, which is really happy to have an actual wood desktop, because nothing will make you superstitious faster than becoming any kind of technician, repair technician, or anything like that. Can you show the Voltron figure up close? I'm pretty sure it's been in a B-roll shot or something. I'm tethered in here, Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain to get up, but yeah, maybe you'll see it in some upcoming videos here. Just had a lengthy chat with Alexander PC, says Kingslayer 517, and I'm confident with purchasing my first gaming PC through your channel recommendation. That's awesome. And it's never a bad idea, especially if it's a boutique builder, that where you can get that kind of more personal service and all that. Not that you're lacking that necessarily, but if you're talking about, say, Alexander PC versus iBuyPower, that's a very different company dynamic there. Like a very different corporate culture. Well, it is a corporate culture over there where you don't really have that with a boutique builder. But if you're ever like doubting whether you should go with a certain SI, you have a couple of options. You can go to the Discord and go to the SI testimonials group of channels, and you'll very likely find the SI you're interested in that list of channels of SIs there. Pick that one and read what some people who have actually bought from them directly reported to SI testimonials. And by the way, if you buy a PC and you want to share your experience, that is one of the best ways to help the community, is by sharing a testimonial, especially if you add pictures. If there was an issue, was it fixed right? Are you happy with the purchasing experience, the ownership experience, customers, all that stuff, okay? But also you can just call them, especially for boutique builders. For larger SIs that are high volume, let's say, you know, you can still call customer service and ask a few questions, like the same stuff that I tell you guys, like, hey, I want to do this kind of stuff. Which PC should I get? If you watch the LTT Secret Shopper series, that's how it starts every time they run that series. Okay, great. Thanks. I might come around November. I have 2 buddies that need help with PC upgrades, and your help would be greatly appreciated. Awesome. And that's good. If you it's much better to wait until a few weeks before you're ready to make your purchase or upgrades and then submit the form. That's the right way to do it. And I actually got a little trick in the form that will catch anyone who's trying to get recommendations months before they're ready to buy, because those will be invalid by the time they're ready to buy. Whatever recommendation I make will be obsolete to the extreme. Sailor X, what is this new issue I've been hearing about all AMD CPUs? Well, there is no issue with all AMD CPUs. I'm happy to report, Sailor. And please, you might have alarmed a few people in chat just by saying that. So be careful with your words, everybody. There is no such issue with all AMD CPUs right now. There was apparently an issue with any dual CCD X3D chips, like the 7900 X3D and the 7950 X3D, where there was a core parking issue. If you watch Jay's 2 Cents' most recent video, one of the most recent ones anyway, he fixes it. He finds a good fix for it. And it's apparently an issue with the driver uninstaller from AMD, where they would just give up. And if reinstalling the drivers doesn't fix the problem, they're like, oh, just reinstall Windows. I don't want to do that. Then I have to reinstall all of my programs and your dumb drivers. But it's because when you would do the driver uninstaller like they recommended you do it, it left tons of files in there with bad parameters, like that were causing issues. So if you use Revo uninstaller, then you're better off. It will actually remove all remaining files afterwards. It's a free utility. And it was a great catch by Jay, as always. He's a very, very well-versed dude when it comes to PC stuff. I always love watching his videos whenever he's like, I fixed this thing, because you can see the satisfaction. You can see the satisfaction in the job well done there. Way to go, Jay. But this also brings up the thing that I'm so upsetty spaghetti about. So let's talk about this real quick before we do roll call. All right. So the way that AMD figured out how to do, because when the 5800 X3D came out, everybody was like, what about a 5950 X3D? And AMD was like, no. And we were like, okay. But it's because they knew that there were some severe limitations there. And also the 5950X was not a gaming CPU. Neither is the 7950X, by the way, but people want that X3D in there, so you have a multi-purpose CPU. It can do lots of productivity stuff, but also game really well. But the way they made that work with the Ryzen architecture, the chiplet architecture, okay? You have, okay, 2 chiplets, 2 CCDs, okay? And each of those has 8 cores in them. No matter what CPU you get, now there's, you know, I'm guessing if you have something like a 9700X, it might have just a blank. But if you get like a 7900X, it's going to have 2 8-core CCDs, but like 2 cores are deactivated on each of those. So you get 12 cores. Anyway, the way they did it though, let's use a 7950X3D as an example. Up until recently, AMD's most expensive consumer desktop CPU, okay? You had both of those CCDs and only one of them had 3D V cache on the 7950X3D. So the problem was when you would boot up a game, I guess they found this in testing, they didn't work hand in hand with Microsoft on the scheduler. The scheduler is what determines what functions go to what cores, okay? What processes go to which cores. Because if they had worked with Microsoft like Intel did, Intel worked directly with Microsoft, so much so that they were like, if you get a hybrid architecture chip, you need Windows 11. Get Windows 11. You need a scheduler. Get Windows 11. And I basically had to parrot that. Like, okay, if you get 12th gen, then 13th gen, then get Windows 11. Because the scheduler will look at the tasks happening and say, okay, this is a primary task right here. This is priority. This goes to the performance cores. This is a background task. This goes to the efficiency cores, and all is well with the world, right? Well, guess what? AMD says, hey, we want to do like something like that too. This is our gaming CCD. This is our high frequency productivity CCD. And if they're doing something very productive with productivity tasks and software, we want to use all 16 cores. And if they're gaming, just use the gaming CCD with the 3D V cache, those 8 cores, or, you know, in 3D V cache. All right. Or if it's a 7900X3D, it was 6 cores with 3D V cache and 6 cores without. I was very upset with that. I think they should have done 8 cores with 3D V cache and 4 cores without, but nobody asks me. Anyways, Microsoft was like, we could maybe you can use the Xbox game bar and then just shut off those other cores. How about that? How about we don't do that with you and actually do a scheduler, and you just have to shut off half of the CPU. All right? Does it sound good? Is that good for you, AMD? AMD's like, I guess so. Damn. I don't know if that's how the interaction was. No idea. In any case, this was only supposed to be for... So the problem with core parking is that it can affect your productivity usage. Okay, that's why the 7950X3D doesn't do as well as the 7950X non-3D in most productivity tasks. Oops. Also, if you're a game streamer and you have a 7950X3D, guess what? You want to use all the 16 cores to run your game, to run your stream, OBS, Spotify, Discord, your walkthrough that you're pretending doesn't exist, right? Guess what? You launch that game, you have an 8-core CPU, buddy. That's all you got. So that's why when someone would say, hey, I'm doing some serious streaming and content creation, I'd be like, just non-X3D, 7950X. There you go. So you have to worry about that. Well, guess what? We lost that. That's gone. They said, oh, you had something you could recommend to people who were serious about doing... Nope, not anymore. Because for some freaking reason, the 9950X and the 9900X require core parking for no reason. Have a nice day. What am I supposed to do with this crap? That's baloney, man. It's baloney, man. Any Game Grumps fans out there? Oh my God. It is exquisitely annoying. I'm sure they have their reasons. There's no way I know more about this stuff than an AMD engineer, okay? But like, can you just, I don't know, send Microsoft some flowers or something? Like, butter them up a little bit and get some actual scheduling for your like $650 CPU. That'd be cool. I'd be so down for that. So here's my thought. Again, there has got to be a reason for this. There's got to be. I refuse to believe they did it just to annoy me. I want to, like, part of me is like, no, you know, they know. Really? One of these wastes of space? Get the hell out of my screen. Bye-bye. Game on TTV says Infinity Fabric latency. Is core parking really the best option there? Or is better scheduling the better idea? Why is it not a problem at all on the 7950X? Please answer me that. Why is the 7950X so dang good? How, like, and to get it to work is jumping through hoops right now. So I told you guys, I told a lot of you guys, if you're doing stuff other than just gaming, we're holding off until we know how the reviews come out from third parties on the, 9000 series Ryzen. Well, they came out. And my thing is this, okay? Like, for power users, I'm sure it's not a problem, okay? But you guys will tell me yourselves that most of y'all are not that. That it's your first PC. You want to get into video editing or streaming or whatever you're going to do, or just gaming or any of that, right? But you'll tell me, hey, this is my first PC. Chat, how many times do we hear that? Like, all the time. It's too much for an entry-level user. So my thought, as I was like trying to find the logic, was this. It could be that AMD is starting, because AMD plays the long game, man. Nobody can deny that. Intel is relative to the way the kind of long game that AMD plays. Intel is like, it takes 2 years to develop our chips, but like we're still flying by the seat of our pants somehow. I'm thinking that there will come a point where, especially considering the results of this launch and the 7800X 3D still being like, you cost how much? And I beat you in most games. That's adorable. I'm thinking that there might not be any high-end AMD CPUs in the future that don't have 3D V-cache. I'm thinking they're not going to, because the performance is too good on gaming. And that's where they think they can make all their money. Are you serious? The cool thing is it shows me when someone puts in a first time chat. So it basically marks it for me. But so that could be the case. They could be gearing up to do 3D V-cache on everything that's Ryzen 7 and up. Or all their chips. Right? Apparently, 9000 series 3D V-cache chips are going to be overclockable. So maybe they cracked the code on thermodynamics and they figured out how not to have thermal issues with stacking things right above your your chiplets that need to contact the IHS but don't have direct contact with it. I don't know. The actual CPU died. I mean, it's not above the chip. It's part of the whatever. It's inside the chiplet. You know what I mean. So that could be it. I just don't know. Read the entire forum. Nice. Okay. Yeah, they should have launched 9000 series with 3D V-cache. That's what I'm saying. That makes a lot of sense to me. Seriously, it's their winning formula. It is like, hey, we can totally we're beating ourselves. How about we not do that and we perfect what our winning formula. We perfect what makes us the leader in this bracket here, and we make it also work for every other use case, right? Now, having looked at that though, it's not all doom and gloom, okay? If you look at things other than gaming, because look, if you look at gaming benchmarks, nothing's gonna beat the 7800X 3D. It's not. Particularly if, I mean, is it at the top of the charts all the time? No. But price-wise, price to performance, nothing comes close. So just focus on that. Make that better. Make it to where I don't have to be here like, oh, you want to game and stream and edit video? No 7800X 3D for you. Nope. You need a non-3D V-Cache chip because you're giving up on frequency. But it sounds like they're working towards that with the next generation of 3D V-Cache. So I hate to say it, but like, if you're doing something like Blender, okay, yes. If you're actually poised to make money by doing Blender stuff or other specific applications where the 9950X beats everything, because there are things out there. If you're going to be doing Cinema 4D, which is Cinebench, right, R24, nothing beats the 9950X now that's not Threadripper. Igor, thanks for coming in with a tier 3 sub. What's up, buddy? How's it going? 9 months of tier 3. Goodness gracious. Look at that golden 9-month badge and 2 tier 1 gifted subs. Thank you very much, Igor. How the heck are you? That's a tier 1 gifted sub for Ryan K. Lamb and Jolyn True. New members of the Swarm right there. Igor, I hope you're doing well. Look at the 5800X 3D. That was straight gold. 7800X 3D, same thing. I'm obsessed with having the option to upgrade, so the 5800X 3D isn't as interesting to me, but for a like absolute budget buyer that wants to get really high-end 1080p performance, it's a very good option. Going good. Just stopping to say hi. Back to work in this heat. Please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, my friend, and take care. There's Jolyn True. There you go. Yeah, sorry about the tirade there. Guys, you know how long I've been waiting for this launch. And as it turned out, because of their delay shenanigans, I have no PCs to test on launch day. I didn't have it for the 9700X. And hey, guess what? They launched the 9950X. I didn't have a system for that either. I thought they were delaying the launch to make it right, make it perfect, because seriously, Intel set them up to spike the ball on them, and they were just like, I warned you guys about early adopter woes. I did do that, and these are definitely those. But damn. I mean, when I say that there's a failure to launch here, I'm not just talking about in reviews. There are long time AMD partners out there, system integrators, who just have not received their stock yet. They have not received their R9s of either kind. Maybe it's for the best, because the process they're going to have to go through with each PC to verify that it has core parking active to get best performance, it's going to be a pain in the butt. It's best if AMD just fixes the drivers, gets it to where they don't have to jump backwards triple 360 through flaming hoops in order to get the on-the-box nominal performance. Wow. That's what I warned you guys about. That's just early adopter woes. I'm just griping, okay? Because I didn't just wait for this. I made you guys wait for this too. How many people on the list was I like, no, hold up. This might be good. We don't know. You don't want to, and I'm here part of the machine. Like, you don't want to miss out. Like, yay me. Good job, buddy. There's no way that I would have known that. I'm not on the inside of it. I'm on the out. When it comes to being like where I'm positioned, I'm 1 foot in the industry, but it's you know, it's tippy toeing. It's like the ball of my foot and like 3 toes in there. Oddly specific, I know. That's just how I roll. Binge watched all those damn benchmark and testing videos. Yep. They seriously dropped the ball. Yep. Crash says, my dad turned off the breaker while my computer was on. Not gonna lie, I am kind of pissed. That is annoying. You need a battery backup for stuff like that. Joel and True says, I believe there's more going on than just OS bugs. I'm expecting to see a series of Agisas that help performance. That's always AMD though. That's always AMD with new launches. That's nothing unusual there. It's the core parking choice. That just like grinds my gears. Oh my God. Like, the architecture is different, I know, but it can't be that dramatically different from the 7950X. How? And if so, can you like not do that? Now, to be clear, I want to make something abundantly clear, and I'll do that. I'm still getting a review unit from iBuyPower for the 9700X, and hopefully I'll be getting one from another SI for the 9950X. Okay, I still think it's going to be a great CPU for content creation. I really do. Okay, it decimates all in Photoshop. I do a lot of that, thumbnails, things like that, graphics, things like that. So anyway, but here's my messaging on this. Okay, and this is something I've said about Intel quite a few times. All right, adding more power and frequency is not progress. Like, oh, look how much faster it is. It also takes an equivalent amount more power to run it. And, oh, hey, oops, dangerously unstable. Oops. You have unnatural wear and tear on your CPU now. Congrats. Okay. The things that the 9700X can do compared to the 7700X with like half the power usage is bananas. Not half, but you know what I mean. Oh, yeah, it is about half. It's crazy. That is progress. It's not going to look that impressive on paper. If you want that, barring any other consequences, yeah, go Intel. Let me know how that works out. But no, like what their focus on, focus on efficiency and, getting better IPC paid off in several ways. Not in gaming. It's like they knew the assignment, but they still, during their keynotes, just had to talk a lot about gaming and how much better it was going to be, and the claims are not working. Right? It's not better at gaming. It gets trounced by the 7800X 3D. It's ridiculous. But if you need a multi-use PC, like multi-purpose PC, it's actually looking pretty good. Again, just because something's in the middle of the charts doesn't mean it's not going to be awesome performance. It's like, oh man, this thing's only getting like 200 FPS in this game. How's that going to work for me on my 144 hertz monitor? That's not enough. You want to wind that back a little bit, maybe think about it. It doesn't have to be on top of the charts because it's using way less power to get where it's at. That's pretty cool. If everybody was expecting this to change the world, of course it's not going to do that. I want to see, and I don't think I got to see really what the 9950X was able to do in eco mode, because man, one of the most miraculous things you'll see is the 7950X in 105 watt eco mode and the performance you can get out of that. Craziness. Very close to the full wattage. But there's a reason they're doing this. I really believe the reason that they are focusing on lowering their power draw so much is to incorporate 3D cache into everything. Because on some level, they do understand that that is their winning formula. That is their hat trick. That's their thing that they got. That's the kill shot. And if they stop separating it from the main product stack like that, Intel better have something really good lined up. Really good. Anyway, I think that's enough of my Crash. I did already respond to that breaker thing, and I mentioned that I hope you're on a UPS, and if you're on a UPS, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, but this launch is worse. I mean, a little bit. It's worse because of the caveats. That's it. Laughing and maxed out Fallout 4 at 165. Yeah, you know. AB2 says, was that vape? Yes. Yes, I'm a grown human and I do need nicotine now and then. I shouldn't do it though. It's a bad habit. Don't vape, kids. It is not cool. It's gross. It's a bad habit. It's a waste of money. I used to enjoy it, like it, but now it's like I need something to relax me. I'm very boring. I don't really drink, and not that there's anything wrong with drinking, in moderation, but I don't really drink like at all. I get a 6-pack of like a 6-pack of beer or something, and it will last me like 4 months, 5 months, or I just end up throwing it away. Give me a nice, neat glass of single malt scotch though. That I do like, but that one glass will last me 3 or 4 hours. Gentle Stone says because Zen 5 architecture design started with the Zen 2 team apparently, and Zen Daddy didn't enforce his will. The Ryzen architecture has been plotted out for like, I don't know, since first gen. So just use Bazite on Zen 5. The new chips seem to work significantly better under Linux. Gentle Stone, you might not have been here when I said this thing. That was a very critical thing to my content and my like the audience that I cater to, right? About 90% are brand new to PCs, never used a computer before or never owned a PC before, but they've used Windows in, you know, certain situations. They want a Windows PC. So, hey, just do this niche thing. Doesn't work in that context. I know you said that a while ago. Sorry about that. The reason it's called bleeding edge technology, it often hurts. That it's just early adopter woes. Zen 4 and Zen 5 were apparently different design teams. I honestly think 7000 series Ryzen in its own way was something pretty special. But each generation has had its own kind of like, whoa, you know? We're just now seeing 9000 series, so we need to not jump to conclusions. 7000 series started out with a whiff too. It wasn't really, it didn't come in swinging. That's how that was. And it was, oh, this is pretty good, but wow, I have to get DDR5 and these motherboard prices, whoa, that is not worth it. Pretty rough. Going to Dragon Con first time. That's cool. Never been to a Dragon Con before. Are there dragons? 3D Vcache mobile APUs would be awesome. Well, I mean, it would fit into the whole thermal limitation thing. And they can do quite a bit on you know, an eco kind of mode thing, but yeah. I thought you missed the first one. Nope, I did respond to it. It's okay. I quit vaping a long time ago. Don't want to get roped back into the habit. Hoping to part away with it too. Yeah, I mean, I don't do it as much as I used to, which is good. Where was it? I did here. I found this recently, and I was like, oh man, I remember when I used to do this. I used to build my own box mods. Whoop. That was my little claim to fame there, was that instead of a door that's just on magnets that you can lose, I had it on a hinge. That is a friction hinge. And there's a little... Pretty sick. Oh, the button, of course. Gotta have a button. Little copper colored button there. Yeah, this is how into it I used to be. I used to make these by hand. up those hinges a little bit because it's kind of, yeah, it's not supposed to open like that. But this is probably about 11 years old at this point. No, it's about 9 years old at this point. So wood's actually very cool. Thank you. Copy my misunderstanding. That's okay. I mean, when you have someone who focuses on pre-builts, you're going to get an audience of people who are new to PCs, and that's good because they don't really have much content catered to them. Like 90% of PC content on YouTube is DIY, and about 75%, give or take, of PC hardware sold per year is in pre-builts. The math makes no sense. Linux are up to 4% of the overall home users market? Question mark, says Rurutsu. I'm Ron Burgundy. Okay, that's a very, very niche right there. That is the nichiest niche of all niches when it comes to operating systems. It is. Linux is very niche. Dragon Con sounds like it's going to be a lot of D&D stuff, which I'm all about. But they got my little... I haven't been able to play in a long time, but I always keep my little awesome little D20 with me. It's not little, it's a large D20. Oh, and I found this recently. I got this at, I think, PAX West. Sorry, it tends to roll away because it is a, I showed this last stream. That is a D100. It's ridiculous. It takes forever to stop. Kind of annoying. I wish I could like flatten out the facets a little more, but it does roll, and you roll percentages with this. It's great. And yes, it is also purple. Lone Star Texan, what's up? What's your favorite game of all? Game? The stupid heart. What's your favorite game all time, Bray? Probably the two most recent Legend of Zelda games. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. That's a tough one, considering how much time I put into those, though. But also Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, Mega Man X, Final Fantasy, blank. Just a bunch of Final Fantasy games. It's a hard one. But mostly, a lot of my favorites are retro. And specifically Super Nintendo, because those were my formative years as a gamer. Spent a lot of time in Grand Theft Auto 5. That's how I started streaming. So that's arguably on my top 10. But it got very old. I mean, it's such an old game now. I don't know. I like a lot of games. Played World of Warcraft for like a decade since vanilla, and gave that up. And I was like, that was way too much of my life went into that. I like a lot of games. Don't really get to play that much anymore. Okay, so Joe Pancio says, I am Linux. Oh my God. Linux is here? I've been full-time since 2015. Started dabbling with it back in 2006. I know it's an OS. Okay, it is not that hard to like throw Ubuntu on a system on a USB drive, go to town. It's easy. But that's not what people want if they're just getting into PCs. I can confidently say that the majority of people want Windows or, Mac OS. It's okay for it to be niche, though. That's not a problem. It's fine. And if they get into PC stuff, especially things like Home Lab, things like that, yeah, Linux all the way. But even I freaking put Linux on an original Xbox back in college. Okay, I like Linux, but it never really took over for me. It never really just because I didn't work with it. I didn't work. My job didn't have me using Linux when I first got into the field of IT. And then even when I was an IT administrator, I mostly worked with Windows Server, stuff like that. Because I came in, I wasn't setting things up. I came into things already being set up, and then I was taking it from there. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, hey, are you into Pokemon? And I never did that as a kid. It never really got, okay, all right. It's one of those things that you need to start. Anyways, let's do roll call. I missed you guys on Tuesday. That's why I'm so yappy right now. Plus a lot of stuff happened. But yeah, I have mixed feelings on the AMD launch. I'll see for myself when I get the review unit from iBuyPower and potentially another one if they ever get their media samples. But yeah, okay. So here's how it works, guys. We're getting into the meat and potatoes here. All right, for all those of you who've been waiting. If you are on the list, if you have filled out the form during the stream or during a previous stream, what you need to do is look right here. Okay? See this name right here? That's me. Hi. It is spelled a certain way. If you spell it a different way, this will not work. So if you type the @ symbol in chat and start typing this right here, it'll fill out the rest for you. So @Breathorn, I'm on the list. Those are the words. That's what you need to say. @Breathorn means it will highlight my name in your chat, making my old eyes able to find it much easier. All right? @Breathorn, I'm on the list. That's the code. That's what you need to do if you're on the list, so you can let me know and I can mark you down and we'll get started. I imagine Dragon Con is going to be a lot of cosplay. Yes. Windows is like 79%. OS X is 14%. Sounds about right. This is why that's why Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the world. Hope you get to unbox the King 95 at some point on stream, Bray. I hope so too, but man, it looks heavy. Looks pretty heavy. Meant to say I'm on Linux. Hey, you handed me that one, Joe. I got to run with it, you know? Jim says, do stock trading desktops need different spec components compared to gaming desktops? Jim, not really. You just don't need as much GPU. You don't need to do any 3D graphics rendering, really, as much as... unless there's some kind of AI services going on, then just get NVIDIA, and then you're good to go. Yeah, thank you, Dirty Bot. I appreciate that. And you know what? If you want to be... something of an expert in this stuff by November, come keep hanging out. This is what I do. I share my thoughts. You get to watch the process as I get people's input and I make recommendations based off of that. You'll get my process after watching a few streams. If you watch while I'm doing these, you'll see people in chat making predictions as to what I'm probably going to recommend in some cases. If it's something where it's like, oh yeah, this fits into this, yeah. Okay, Observer of Thoughts is on the list. Alrighty then. It looks like we have a couple people who submitted forms after last stream, last Thursday. And that's it. Nobody else has submitted a form tonight. All right. Looks like it's going to be a short stream tonight. It was good. I am so tired, but yeah, it's all good. Put my wife on Linux Mint nearly 4 years ago. She really didn't know the difference between that and her Windows desktop. Now she's on full time. Just said if she can do it, anyone can. I agree. You would be hard pressed though, because remember, I cover pre-builts. Nobody else covers pre-builts like I do, right? You'll be hard pressed to find a system integrator who will install and support Linux for a novice customer. I believe that Build Redux is the only one that has an option to install Ubuntu, but then they're like, we don't support it. You're not going to get support for your OS, but it saves you like $120. Wolfcross, there you are. You're up here. Okay, so you're going to be, so far, you are first. Whenever you submit your form, I do these in the order that they're submitted. So, Observer of Thoughts, Wolfcross submitted their form on the 8th of this month, so they're going to be before you. We'll see if anyone earlier comes in to get some help. But don't go anywhere, Wolfcross. Currently, you are first. I've watched a lot of your law bands. That's right, Banshee Boys. You've been around for quite a while. Bray, maybe you would like Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I might. I know that one has a built-in benchmark too. I feel like every game should have a built-in benchmark, but that's just the content creator and me talking. Does Puget have Linux support? They probably do. Maybe. When you think about it, though, Puget Systems' specialty is for content creation, video editing, photo editing, industry stuff. And a lot of that happens, and they do PCs, so it's mostly going to be Windows. But I've never looked into whether they do Linux or not. They might. In a way, they're also a niche SI. Jim said, cool, thanks. Jim, if you're looking for getting help with a PC recommendation, check the link in the description, fill out that form, and I will give you a one-on-one recommendation based on the information you provide me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what do I do? We're going to look at some numbers. We're going to look at some charts, and I'm going to show you guys why I'm conflicted.
And then you don't.
Yeah, that's Jay's voice. We'll look at some of the charts he's put up, and you'll see what I mean. I was kind of curious what the thoughts are about the Borderlands art style. It's cool. It's a cool art style. It doesn't really speak to me in terms of art style, but like it is cool. It's a lot of cell shading, right? Puget Systems offers it too. They have limited support for Ubuntu. Okay, that makes sense. Really enjoyed your Build Redux PC unboxing. I had mine for 2 years and it's been awesome. Only thing I've done is upgrade the GPU from 3070 Ti to 4080. Interesting. Okay. Rikaj, welcome to the stream. I hope I didn't butcher your name too badly. Love your background soundtrack. Well, Wolf Cross, we're going to get started here in a second, but I do want to mention something to you guys. Let me see here. There you go, Gentle Stone. You can use it yourself if you want to, for free. Okay, I'll do it over here too. I should really have this as a command. I think I mentioned this briefly, but some of you guys have heard my music that I used to make. And I had an interesting interaction with Will. He's the guy who runs Backing Track. Epos Vox is like a partner in that, and recently released a very cool album of very ambient glitch ambient music. It's very, very cool. Using analog tools, things like that. It's just cool, just glitchy sound spaces. I know I can find really cool ways to use that, but whatever. So while I was like touting that a little bit on Twitter, X, whatever, Will, who is the guy that does this music for Backing Track, which is what I'm using, was like, yeah, it is really good. And I said, yeah, it makes me want to, get my MIDI keyboard out, put Studio One back on my PC and get back into the amateur music stuff I used to do. And he was like, do it. And would you release it royalty free? Because we could always feature it on Backing Track. And I'm like, listen, I don't say this. I never say this, but like, ayo. Yeah. So if I do that, because it's so therapeutic for me to make music, it's something that's always been a passion for me, but not something I ever thought I could make into a career. And this would not be that. This would not be me making it into a career. It would be, my desktop did that for a reason. Here we go. Now my desktop will zoom with everything else. There it is. Okay. But I love making modern orchestral stuff. and they don't really have much like that on there, so it'd be pretty cool. I don't know, what do you guys think? But anyways, let's go into this. I'm going to show you this. Both of these ones that we have so far are fairly high budget systems for not just gaming. One, gaming, pro gaming / esports, streaming, content creation / video editing, right? Then gaming, streaming, content creation / video editing, right? Okay. So gaming, let's see here, charts. So apparently Horizon Zero Dawn is what we're going to be looking at here. Let me see. So yeah, X3D chips, all X3D chips, then Intel, and then like way down here, you'll start seeing 9000 series, right? But this is what I was talking about. 250 FPS. That's still very good. Like that's very good. But most people would see this and be like, wow, X3D. Yes, of course, that is designed for gaming. But here's the thing. Check this out. All right. So let's see. Blender. It's not even close. The 9950X is bananas in Blender. Remember how I say if you go with the 7950X 3D, you get better gaming performance, but you sacrifice other performance in other use cases. The difference between the 7950X and the 7950X 3D is the same as the difference between the 7950X and the 9950X. Like, that is a substantial difference, okay? Classroom, same thing, 9950X. AMD owns Blender, like they don't own it, but they like win at Blender. That's generally how that goes. Handbrake transcoding, 9950X is right here with the Intel chips, right there. A difference of 4 seconds between the highest rated chip here. 7950X is only 1 second off though, and it's $130 difference in price. That's significant. It's going to come down to like, what are you doing with it? I want to see. Oh, the single thread scores are excellent too. Look at this, 9950X right there with a 14900K, 1 point off in the single threaded Cinebench R24 score. So if you're doing Cinema 4D, bam, that's what Cinebench R24 is. And that's the multi-threaded test. Bam, look at that. 2 points off of the 14900K at 253 watts. 2122. Cinebench R23 single threaded score. It is right up there with a 1300K, 14900K. All right. Very, very close. And look down here. Look down here. The 7950X is down here. That is a big difference, actually. So their architecture difference, the uplift in IPC is showing. It is showcasing here. All right. They're putting on a clinic when it comes to their architecture improvements over the last gen. And look at this, Cinebench R23. This is the test I run the most when I'm doing one of these, okay? To run, usually for testing CPU cooling. Yeah, the 9950X is bar none the best CPU on here for Cinebench R23, which is an unreasonably difficult benchmark for a CPU, but it's not a small margin here, okay? This is the architecture difference. So when I say, hey, listen, you're not gonna have the best gaming CPU with a 9950X, but if you're doing stuff that's not just gaming, oh well, you're not just doing a gaming PC. Now, this is where I would be like, and you don't have to deal with core parking, but apparently you do. Otherwise, it would be like, yeah, go 7950X 3D, get better gaming performance. Man. The reason I can sit in front of you guys here on live TV and make recommendations is because of confidence. It comes from confidence in my viewpoint, in my sort of internal sort of correlation of all the facts and all the measures and all the numbers and all the charts. And just with that one core parking thing, they threw a massive Ryzen branded wrench into the gears. And it's shaped like the Xbox Game Bar. So here's what I would say then. Until, first off, Intel, yeah, I know they get high numbers. Big number get bigger. Great. If you want Intel, wait for Arrow Lake. Or if you're an Intel fanboy, wait for Arrow Lake. All right. It's probably going to be, it's a massive departure from what they've been doing, and that's probably for the best. Okay? Because there are people who are like, I got the Intel i9. That's what I'm rocking right now, myself. I got that i9 right now, 14900K. Ain't no smugness about that, because the problems I dealt with for months, that's time I will never get back. That's videos that went up late, affecting my initial viewership, all kinds of stuff, okay? So, ergo, if you look at all these numbers and you're like, 7950X at the discounted price is looking pretty good, you're probably right. And that's probably what you should go with. No core parking shenanigans. No need to uninstall, reinstall drivers, or just reinstall Windows. Thanks, AMD. Fix your driver uninstaller. That'd be a great first step. So basically, the downside is the core parking thing does hurt gaming performance. And my main issue here is if you're going to be streaming your gameplay, as soon as you turn on your game and get into it, the core parking characteristics, the core parking feature is going to give you an 8-core CPU. That's all you're going to have. That is why, for streamers who are going to have a really serious, very complex stream, I'm like, yeah, just get the 7950X and call it a day. The thing is very, very good. All right? It performs well in games. It's not going to top the charts, and you will live, I promise. It will not explode just because it's not beating every other CPU. Like, you don't need that. But when it comes to things like editing video, doing 3D design, graphic design, Photoshop, things like that, it rocks. It's pretty great. But the sad thing is the new architecture really, really works well. Like, let me bring up I'm going to bring up a different window here. Let's duplicate this.
And then you got to...
Here, I'll just bring this over here, find it. And yes, I did need to go over this before I start on the recommendations. We're going to get started here in a second. And we already have. This is me doing the recommendations, okay? I'm explaining my viewpoint because it's not just automatic, guys. I don't just magically know what the best thing is. All right, here we go.
A hell of a long week working on Zen 5 efficiency testing. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's on the channel. It went up like, I don't know, 16 hours ago.
This segment here is how to enable core parking on the new CPUs. This is what was sent to testers. This is what was sent to reviewers. I am hoping all SIs have taken notes, because every system you sell that has a Ryzen 9 CPU had better have this process done on it, or you're not doing your due diligence and your job as a system integrator to optimize that PC and give the purchaser what they purchased. Anyway, let's see. This is all power efficiency. Oh yeah, this is Blender rendering. They do it by how short of a time it runs. And yeah, it is of course the quickest one on the block here. But right behind it is a 7950X. Let me change my resolution here because it's giving me 720. Really? Come on. Come on. That's much better. Okay. So that's Blender 3D rendering. Adobe Photoshop.
The 9950X.
The crazy thing here is the 9700X beats the 9950X in Adobe Photoshop. What the hecky? I know Steve explains it in here. We're not going to just play his video. If you want to hear the details, please go watch the video. All right. I'm not a reaction content creator. That's not what I do. What else was this? What's this next one? Adobe Premiere. Here's the thing about Adobe Premiere. Normally, Intel has no real competition here because of QuickSync. However, look at the 9950X. Intel, look at it and dismay. Like, it is right there with no QuickSync happening. So if you're going to edit video, the 9950X, deal with the core parking stuff. There's guides on how to make sure it's working, but if you get a pre-built, it should be done for you. And that's going to be part of what I do. Part of my due diligence is reaching out to SIs and being like, hey, are you going to be doing this process? If they say yes, and they send me a system and that's not done, that's a problem. We got a problem. Wolfcross says, you weren't kidding about those mixed feelings. I feel deeply. I'm an emotional person. Oh, this is interesting. I like it when Twitch gives me its due diligence. Possible ban evader monitoring. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Okay, but that's not what the stream is about. Please read the title of the stream. We're talking about computers. Holy moly, what is that slide? If you advertise something on the box, it better work out of the box. You know how far we have to go to tell people to enable XMP in BIOS? This is a mega oof. Well, as for an SI, if you want to sell these, you're going to need to do that process. That's it. That's what AMD has saddled us with by making core parking a necessary thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and yeah, that's one that was not going to be evaded, I suppose. Brent Brown, what's up? Braythorn, Scott on, been out mowing. Oh, yeah, hate mowing. What's up, Mike? How's it going? Just saw you, Mike992. Thanks for coming in. Victor 4, I have like Alienware R10 and its R5 Ryzen maybe. Okay. Still original home edition. Unplug it. Still since purchased it. 1 terabyte drive off. Victor 4, I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say here. I clone it just about a few weeks ago to the black SSD and it's awesome. Sometimes I wish I showed YouTube chat on screen. Twitch, please let me do that without potentially taking away my partnership, because I'll never get that back if you do. Anyway, so yeah. So where I'm at now is I could go look at SIs that have systems with the 9950X. If you're going to edit video, this should be very appealing to you, because guess what? Yeah, it has some core parking shenanigans, but this thing was eating itself alive for like a year. Okay, the 14900K was not okay. It was not okay. And QuickSync is great and all, but if you can't export a freaking video, I had like a 45% shot of it actually successfully completing an export when I was before I updated the BIOS, and now I need to get the new microcode. But I mean, my streams were crashing. I couldn't export video. I was watching a VOD for Maximilian Dude. All right, if you're fellow dudes, let me know. But like, he was having the same problem. He's like, I need to get on AMD. I'm like, oh my God. I'm sponsored by NZXT. I need to reach out to my rep at NZXT and be like, yo, y'all need to get Max sorted seriously, because he is trash talking that Intel CPU. Mud 404. I just ordered a Digital Storm today. Lol. I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. I'm a fellow Bray buddy. I appreciate that. Finally ordered that PC from about 2-ish months ago. Not mine way. No, that is not how you do it. All right, I'm looking at something up right now. Yes. Back in June, when you told me you were going to order it within 2 weeks. That's you, right? If you were to get a recommendation from me now, it would probably be vastly different. Maybe, maybe not. I'd have to look. Let's see. Let's see what I gave you. No, 7800X3D. That's fine. 4080 Super. You're lucky. You're lucky that 9000 series didn't blow everything out of the water. But next time, don't lie on a form, okay? Also, it should have been a higher wattage power supply. What was I thinking? Unless they just don't. They probably don't have that specific power supply anymore. That's what it was. It will automatically change what's in the build if they don't have that model of 850 or 1000 watt or whatever anymore. But yeah, don't lie on a form, okay? Because I would have told you to wait until closer to we're closer to your actually purchasing it, okay? Whenever you guys fill out a form, I'm trusting you. And if you make a purchase, like say you waited a couple, like 3 more months, and the X3D chips came out, and I would have been like, oh, a 9800 X3D would just like decimate this. You wouldn't feel too good about that. And I wouldn't feel too good about you not feeling good. I didn't lie. I actually had my bike your bike got stolen? Okay. Well, that's understandable. But if something like that happens, I mean, what are you going to do? I understand. Beware BIOS. Sometimes they like sell more. Victor, what are you on about? It's not Talon Falcon for the same, says Victor 4. Are you okay? Yeah, but I understand not mine way. And the words lie on a form, I guess that's strong language there. But yeah, essentially, if something like that happens, and I made a recommendation for you months ago, you can come back and I'll redo it if there's extenuating circumstances like that. But thankfully, in this case, it's the same recommendation I would have made now, considering your use case here. But now I gotta carry back on here, and we are doing. I'm gonna figure this out, guys. I'm gonna work. We're figuring this out right now on live TV together. Okay, Wolfcross. Let's go. Sunday Kills recently ordered my parts. Can't wait for everything to come in. Congrats, Sunday Kills. That's pretty cool. Crash, it's okay. Like I said, those are extenuating circumstances. So once it was explained to me, I said, sorry about that. That does suck. But here's what I would have said. Come back and we'll do another one. But thankfully, again, it was pretty much the same build I would have done now anyway. Sailor X is asking if Victor 4 is an AI bot. I imagine we'll have to ask Victor 1 through 3 first to find out. Okay, Wolfcross, let's take a look at your form information here. So 3,500 is a budget. Quick question, is that the maximum budget for your system? You're looking for a white system, considering iBuyPower. Oh, cool. We have an iBuyPower thing I can work off of already. Well, I lost it, actually. I closed it, but we can do this one. And we'll come back to that. Actually, I don't know. Can we? Let's see. Let's see here. We can, actually. 9950X. There it is. If we go that route. I need to open that dialogue with iBuyPower and make sure that they're going to be doing the core parking setup, because the whole point of buying a pre-built is that you don't have to worry about that. You're not going to have to worry about any of that process. It should be done for you by iBuyPower, and the fact that it works should be validated as well. Crash, I do wonder sometimes. Sunday Kill, sorry, still don't have it on me, so can't really do it. I'm not. It's like they pushing next year about 190 something cores. All right, I need you to prove to me right now, Victor 4, that you're not a bot. What is 69 divided by 0? Grucci says, back in my day, we could hire people to park our cores. I'm not saying cars with an accent, but sure. Okay, looking at this still. Wolf Cross, you still with me? I was asking what the actual max budget was for the system. Now, considering the pro gaming / esports, along with the streaming, content creation, video editing, if we look here, oh man, the 7950X 3D is, where is it? Am I crazy or is it not on this chart? It's not on the chart. They didn't include it in this one for some reason. Well, the 7950X is right up there with, with 13900K, 14900K. Look at that. Okay, so you could always go 7950X or 7950X 3D, which will be a little bit lower than this, if you don't want to go with a 9950X and you don't want to worry about it, because you'll get better gaming performance that way, and it will better fit into the esports / what is it, / pro gaming thing. But if you're going to stream your gameplay, keep in mind it will park half of your cores. You'll have a 4-core CPU. And looking at this, the 7950X is 226. The 9950X is 273 additional. So it's not the $130 price difference. It's only about a $50 price difference. I have 4K exact set aside, but I'm not trying to misspend. Showtime says, hey Bray, how's it going? Considering a Google career cert, I don't know if I should study IT support or digital marketing. Those are very different career paths. Why not both? It's a big task, I know, but yeah. Sonic Kills, do you think that an EVGA 850 BQ bronze rated PSU is fine for 4070 Ti Super? That's very specific, Sunday Kills. I'm just going to give you this link right here. Find it on that list and see what it's rated. I'm currently helping somebody else out, so. Ghost Boner loves food. That's good. You do need that to live. Okay. Okay, Wolfcross, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more feedback from you here. Check this out. Why don't you tell me, amongst all these things here, what your priority is? Gaming, pro gaming / esports, that combination makes me think that the gaming side of things is the most important. But the streaming and content creation / video editing, you might be doing professional, prosumer level of video editing, professional level video editing, and you need the top CPU for that, which guess what that is? That's the 9950X. Unless you want a 14900K that who knows if it's gonna have the new the latest microcode or not, and if it freezes on you one time, you've already damaged the thing. So gaming, streaming, video editing. Okay. To be fair, I've said this before about the 7800X 3D. 8 cores is enough for gaming and streaming. It is. You don't need all 16 cores for that. When you are going to be editing video, however, make sure that you are not running any kind of game in the background. Okay, well, I mean, it's only when it's on the foreground that it's going to do any core parking, but whatever. That would tell me the 7950X 3D would be the best bet because gaming is your priority. 7800X 3D would be the best option if you weren't editing video. Okay, but the budget's high enough to do the 7950X 3D, no problem. And you want the PC to be white, we can do that. They even got Unifans here now. Look at that. They got the F120 Duos from NZXT. Look at that. Anyway, I got the new white Be Quiet Silent Wings Pro. That was really nice. Anyway, we pick a white case. How do you feel about RGB? Are you big on RGB or like, nah? What do you think? Wait, this isn't the easy builder. Maybe that's for the best, though. It's all good. Doesn't matter. It means we can be more granular. Easy builder is better for you guys whenever you're doing these. It does simplify things. I can look at lists of parts and be like, yes, I know what these things are, you know, because I look at it all the time. Man, remember when Intel was like best you could get? I remember a very nice division of proficiency. Around the time of, say, 10th gen Intel versus 3000 series Ryzen. And everybody knew if you wanted to do any kind of productivity stuff, you got Ryzen. If you wanted to have the best gaming CPU, you went Intel. We don't have that anymore. Oh, well, now we do, actually, because gaming is going to belong to Ryzen for the unforeseeable future. I don't know. That's fine. They have the Y70. That's not a problem. You're looking at the right SI because that's their sister company. Bam. Y70 in white Dunyan rings. Good to go. We're going to add some fans. Go with some Unifans, SL V2s. And we can change the cooler to sort of match that too. Alder Lake was decent. Raptor Lake, not so much. Raptor Lake, I don't know if you remember when Raptor Lake first launched, but the performance improvements over Alder Lake were significant. Like, it was bananas and the core count, but it's just that they flubbed it. And we didn't know for like a year and a half. That's the real kicker right there. They do have the thick Q60 if you want to have the height cooler, by the way. Or we can go, let's see if they have the Lian Li cooler. That's what I'd like to do. Yeah, they do. Hey, it's different fans though. But it's still all Lian Li, so you'll only have to run the Lian Li software. Wolfcross, I was asking earlier. Oh, I have 4K exactly set aside. Not trying to misspend. Okay, that's what you meant. For some reason, I was equating that to your resolution you wanted to use. Well, I don't just automatically spend all of it, okay? However, so here's my thing. You chose 1440p, not 4K. That tells me you don't need to go with a 4090, okay? And if you don't need a 4090 and you don't get a 4090, you're basically, if you get one without needing it, that is using a lot more power from the power supply. It is putting a lot more heat into the room, all that good stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Well, Raptor Lake, it remains to be seen. Really, 13th gen is like, I don't know that I trust any 13th gen CPUs now because of the oxidation issues. 14th gen, it needs time. It needs time. We need to see that the new microcode works. And by the time I feel comfortable recommending it, we're probably looking at Arrow Lake coming out. So, oops. We're going to go 64 gigs, which is $50 off right now, which is good because that makes it almost a reasonable price. I don't like their RAM prices, generally speaking. Oh my God, $110 more if you want white RAM. You'll live without the white RAM. Good Lord. But yes, a 4080 Super should do the job if they have a white one. Do they not? The white 4070 Ti Super. Good grief. Okay. I thought 13th gen oxidation were early product SKUs. We never really got that fully confirmed as far as I know, other than just them saying it, which like... Mike agrees with the white Y70. A suggestion for a motherboard, maybe consider Asus ProArt X670E Creator Wi-Fi. The ProArt is nice, but I'm not for streaming. I'm not so sure. It doesn't really have enough I/O, in my opinion, for streaming. All right, if you want to go crazy, good Lord. Oh my gosh, this is actually no, we can't. It's over budget. Good Lord, the 4090 is overpriced here. This is an additional $1,900 over the price of a 7700 XT. That's like a $500 GPU. Are you crazy? It is, yeah, it's the Asus Strix, whatever. A standard 4090 is $500 cheaper. You could also go 4080 Super, and it's going to do everything you need. Okay. Didn't they get forced to admit the issues in the first place? They waited like so long. We should have heard about it in mid 2023 because apparently they found some issues with it in late 2022. There should have just been a voluntary recall, honestly. This one's nice. This one has the silver elements to it. I think this would match nicely in the case. It's the closest 4080 Super for sure. And we're still well under budget, so we can still focus on things like getting you a really nice motherboard with great I/O, getting you tons of storage, things like that. You go with a 4090 for no reason, because you didn't put 4K on there for your resolution. You go with a 4090, you're going to have an imbalanced system that's going to be too focused on gaming. I'm personally a big fan of this motherboard, the X670E Gaming plus Wi-Fi. I love the I/O on this thing. They also have the Strix X670E-A Gaming. I'm interested in what the I/O is on this. Let's take a look. Of course, Asus never... They do have a picture of it. They're so bad about providing these sometimes. All right, what do we got here? That's not too bad, actually. Not too bad at all. 10 USB Type A's, 2 Type C's. That's 12 total USB on the back. On the back, right there. It looks like we've got. Let's see how many M.2. It's just it doesn't say here, but it'll say here. M.2 slots, 4 of them on there. 4 onboard M.2 slots. That's nice. I think this looks really nice, but it is also $308 more rather than $99 more like this one. Take a look at this. I/O looking nice. Not as many fast ports. However, these ports right here are fine for like motherboard, keyboard, mouse, headset, things like that. And then you have these for like webcams, things like that. And then these for, external storage and a 20 gigabit per second USB Type C. This actually has 1 extra USB Type A port over the other one, but 1 fewer Type C ports. So on the other one, on the Asus board, that is an unlabeled one, so probably 10 gigabit per second. You still have the 20 gigabit per second Type C right here. Plus, it still has 4 M.2 sockets on it, and it still looks quite nice for a white build. Not as much of the silver on it to match it up, but a lot of this whole part down here is going to be covered up anyway by the GPU being vertical. Now, I'm going to say this, all right? I'm not a fan of your choice of case, honestly. I'm really, really not a fan of the Y70 for your build. Would you like me to tell you why? So here's the thing. I have been streaming for a while. I have a lot of devices that use USB, mostly Type A. Most devices for streaming, you'll find your Stream Decks, your Stream Deck pedals, a lot of these, any webcams. You'll find that external capture cards, mostly Type A, other than the newest ones. If you need that kind of capture, so you might run out of USB ports and add in a card like this one. Look at how many USB 3.0 ports there are there, plus 2 Type Cs that do run at 5 gigabit per second, not 10 or 20, but still no external power needed because of that. See that? No external power, just gets it off the PCIe bus. All right? You can't install that card in a Y70 because it is a full-size PCIe slot, not a half-height one like this, a low-profile one. Same thing for capture cards. You couldn't use the capture card I have in my system right now, which is the CamLink Pro from Elgato. I have that one because into the same PC, I have my camera. I have HDMI running to this wall over here for the camera there for when I do unboxings. I have the top-down camera as well. Multiple camera angles for when I do unboxings and things like that. It requires full-height PCIe. The Y70, Y60, and Y40 cases all require that you either not put in any PCIe add-in cards or you use low-profile ones. Oops. Do I have another case in mind? Yes, any case that has full-height PCIe slots, which is all of the other ones that are not small form factor. Dread Eye says, hi, Braithorn, ran into your channel recently when doing my research on pre-builds. I ended up going with Alexander PC, ordered yesterday, customized a little 7800X3 4080 Super. That's a good pairing. Dread Eye, question for you. Did you use code Thorn to get $50 off, though? That's the important question right there. I'm going to go ahead and go with this one, but you can change to the Asus motherboard if you choose, if you want to. But I will say this, MSI motherboard, MSI GPU. I like to match those up when I can. Thermaltake Tough Power GF-A3, very highly rated power supply. Could go with that, or the 1000-watt Corsair RM1000E. Both good choices. Most of these are going to be highly rated on the PCI, the PSU Cultist tier list. Hey, Wolfcross, look, I love the Y70. I have a white Y70 with the touchscreen. I cannot use it for my primary build because of those very reasons. I need to put in a lot of PCIe add-in cards. I basically use every slot available to me. And that's me as a content creator. See, this is tough right here because they're giving you a free 1 terabyte Western Digital Blue SN580, but I wouldn't use that as a boot drive. So because it's within budget, like I don't want to as you said, misspend. But here's the thing. Fun fact, by the way, Wolfcross, with my code, which is Braithorn6, this name here plus the number 6, I'll show it to you later. You get 5% off of this. That is not an insignificant amount of money. That's going to be like, if you do your full budget, that's $200 off. So that does leave some leeway. But what I'm going to do here is probably put in a 2 terabyte, I don't know, Kingston Fury Renegade. Actually, the SN850X is looking a little better here. Wait, that's a 1 terabyte. That's why it's looking better. Duh. The 2 terabyte one is actually just a little bit less, but not really worth the difference because of the longevity difference here. Actually, the SN850X is pretty good on that, but I've used Kingston a long time, many times. I basically, if I can default to that, I do. You can add extra storage if you want to, right here. That's the build. That's pretty much it. If Intel doesn't go bankrupt, maybe their investments in using dedicated fabrication plants will pay off. The government wouldn't allow Intel to go bankrupt, or they might encourage it or whatever and then subsidize them. But no, here's the thing. Intel's part of the CHIPS Act. The government wants silicon to be fabricated on our soil here. So whatever the issue is, they're going to be fine. And they know that, which is probably why they played fast and loose with morals there and not reporting the issues, which made me upsetty spaghetti. Deathly Nightshade says Lankpool 216 in white is based. That is true. That's a very nice case. But if someone says they like the Y70, I'm going to look for a different case that has that front and side glass to get that similar aesthetic. But yeah, if you want to, you can go in and add more storage. You're starting out with 2 terabytes. Adding storage is one of the easiest things you can do, though you do need to remove the GPU to do so. Let's change out your case real quick. I wish they had the Montech King 95 Pro in white. That would be such a good substitution here. But they only have it in black, unfortunately. Ah, yes, the H9 Flow is another option. Let me just show you this thing real quick. So you'll notice how this does not force you to have the vertical GPU. So you have full length PCIe slots right there. Brackets, I should say, mounting, whatever. So yeah, this would be a good option for you. And I will say it, NZXT makes a damn fine case. We could also switch your fans and cooler to NZXT to sort of match everything up. They have the new F120 Duos. I think they're really nice looking fans. So if we do that and go here, we will find that they do have the new Kraken Elite 360 millimeter liquid cooler from NZXT. Bam, done. There you go. So you'll be using NZXT Cam instead of the Lee & Lee software. Soldier Boy says, so the budget is $4,000. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we need to spend all of it. Here's the thing. The 4090 seems to be out of reach here for the custom system. Particularly if you want a white one. With $400 left in the budget, going up by $732 is not really an option because we're going to be about $300 over budget. However, let's try it because of my discount code. Let's see what it comes out to. It's also $200 off right now for the 4090. So $43.38. Let's check this out. All right, give me a sec. Let me cook real quick. All right. I know you're not supposed to say that about yourself. Other people are supposed to say for someone else to let you cook, but whatever. All right, just back up, back up off me for a second. Okay, so this took off $216, making it $41.21.10. Now, what did I say about the 4090? You don't need it. We've put together a really well-balanced system for you here. And in fact, it's going to help you prioritize gaming above everything else because of the CPU. The CPU is actually keeping you from getting the 4090 here because we went with the most expensive CPU here, which apparently is more expensive than the new 9950X somehow. 9950X would remove $134. Oh, that's the amount that we need to take off for you to be able to get a 4090 and still be right under your budget. with my coupon code anyway. Not without it, you're going to be over budget regardless. The other option would be 7950X. That would be $181 cheaper. And then you don't have to worry about core parking. Good Lord. Is TSMC coming to North America, or is AMD going to change partners? I don't know about TSMC, man. They're used to pretty economical labor, I guess, in Taiwan. Well, here's what it actually is. Okay, the Taiwanese currency is, and I enjoyed this while I was there for Computex. Let's say the American dollar goes very far over there, but people here have a different cost of living and require more American dollars. Yes, Deathly Nightshade, they are indeed doing some creator stuff. Joe Panisa said, I remember when AMD was on the brink of extinction and I was glad they survived. I feel the same way about Intel. Healthy competition is good for everyone's pocketbook. Intel needs to stick around. They absolutely need to stick around. But they also need to get their act together. John Paul Bacon, I do agree that the ProArt is a nice system. However, I don't think it's as well set up for streaming, in my opinion. Those 20 gigabit per second USB Type-Cs are great for hubs and things like that, but you don't really want to run streaming devices off of a hub. Not an annoying question. There's no need to get 4090 if he's not going to do any Blender action. I'm just posing this as an option. So, Wolfcross, what do you think? Stick with the 7950X 3D, stick with the 4080 Super. You good with that? I don't really feel comfortable having you spend $700 extra on a GPU you don't need. But it's not my job to actually tell you what to buy. It's my job to make suggestions. Let's see the final price. If the oh wait, no, it's a 40F70 Ti Super. Where there it is. That's the one I was looking for. There we go. So if we have it set up this way and we go to add to cart, this just lets you know that the video card's gonna be shipped uninstalled. That's normal here. Okay. Let's go here, hit OK, review cart, and look at our actual price here. You're looking at a price of $3425.70 after using code Breathorn6. Takes off $180. Deathly Nightshade, I wouldn't go with the 7900X 3D in this one. Honestly, that CPU, I'm sure it's great. If I were using one, I'd probably be happy with it, but on paper, it bothers me. It should have been 8 3D V-cache cores on one CCD and 4 non-3D V-cache cores on the other CCD. That's how they should have done it. As it is, the way it is, it falls behind the 7800X 3D, which is a cheaper CPU in gaming, and it falls behind the 7950X 3D, which is not that much more expensive of a, well, actually, no, it is currently a lot more expensive, but it falls behind that for a high-end system because it has fewer overall cores. Welcome, Cherokee Vapors. How's it going? That code does come in clutch. You're very right about that. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to send you this build, and you can edit it. You can decide for yourself if you want to change your CPU to like the 9950X, the latest and greatest. As long as you don't mind the core parking stuff, it is at the top of the heap for video editing, right there with the 14900K with the newer wattage settings and everything. Or go with the 7950X, which is still a tried and true, really solid CPU. Maybe go with even something a little lower than that and wait for the 9950X 3D, perhaps, where you'll actually have better reason for core parking. Anyways. But yeah, you could do that. Also, there's free stuff. Get your free stuff. Choose whatever free stuff you want. There's some free things here. or like a mouse pad that's $5, or this is actually, we'll get the free one. Actually, it's free. But let me get you your summary. Let me shorten that up for you. Alrighty then, you're all set, Wolfcross. Prod New Kid says, who has 3K just lying around? Someone who saved up for it, I imagine. PCs are an investment. Make no mistake. This is someone who's going to be doing streaming and video editing alongside the gaming. So it could end up making some returns on that investment. Kenneth 3D, Kenneth D, what's going on? Why don't I say 3D? It's all this 3D Vcache talk. Good Lord. Welcome. Glad to see you. How you doing? Showtime says, according to TSMC, they have plans to build a plant in Arizona. They do. They're running into problems with labor. Wolfcross, very welcome. Vinval, welcome. What ports would be good for streaming? Generally, I look for the most I can get for a reasonable amount. Trust me, look, you run out. If you stream for a while and you keep trying to make your stream better, you'll probably be getting some control surfaces and other devices, things like that. It just happens. And I'm not alone in this. It happens to anyone who streams for a long time and gets a lot of stuff to help them stream. I'm currently using 3 Stream Deck devices. One of them is the Stream Deck pedals. Then I have the Stream Deck Plus, and I have the Stream Deck V2. And I use all of it. Not as much as I used to when I was doing more motion studio stuff, or any motion studio stuff. I want to get back to that. I missed that. That was so cool. Who was here when I was using Motion Studio, when I had the virtual studio, the virtual environment? Who was here for that? Zenny says, what about the Skytech Nebula? Zenny, what about it? There are several versions of it. But yeah, John Paul Bacon, if you're asking in comparison to the ProArt board, the ProArt board has unused real estate that could have gone to more USB ports. It's not bad at all. But for the price, it bothers me a little bit. A little bit. And your average user is not going to ever really need a 10 gigabit port for now anyways. I mean, give it a 5 years or so, and sure, we'll all have 10 gigabit internet probably, I guess. But or more actually. But At that point, you can add in a PCIe add-in card, especially because this case will accommodate that. Also, the motherboard I chose has a lot of PCIe slots available. I don't think the ProArt board has as many. And just to be clear, most PCIe add-in cards are plug and play. You install it physically, boot up Windows, and it works. Zenny, here's how it works. Please read the description of the YouTube stream. Click the link in the description and fill out the form. Because you can talk about PCs all you want. But if you don't tell me anything about yourself, I don't know if it's good for you or not. You see all this information here? This is people who follow the process properly. Just like the observer of thoughts, it is your turn. Let's go. Sunday Kills remembers the virtual setup. Nice. I got a B650 over the X670. Is that a big deal or not? Are you mostly just gaming? Then no, it's not. Deathly Nightshade, me with my little Stream Deck Mini. Hey, those can come in clutch. They really can. Hey, Bray, have you thought about muscling in on Jay's iFixit money? Actually, no. And there's a reason for that. Well, there wasn't before, but now there is. And that's because there is another company that makes tools that is going to be sponsoring Pre-Built Rebuilt. I gave this away last stream. And it would be a slight bit of conflict, even though they themselves have been sponsored by iFixit. Observer of Thoughts is here. Cool. Okay, so here's the fun part. Oh, actually, you're looking for Alexander PCs or Skytech or... okay, never mind. You listed 4 actual SIs. When the question says, are you interested in getting your PC from a specific company... I know it says list below. I mean, list that one company below, but okay. That's fine. I basically can go with whichever one I want then. Ooh. Oh, that's a good stretch. Well, here's the thing. My question for you, I'm not sure, observer, I guess I should say, is if you're looking to do content creation and video editing, what made you choose 1080p for your monitor resolution? Is that the one you have now, or is that what you intend to get? Because I can tell you, you're going to want higher resolution than that if you're going to be editing video, because most people expect higher resolution video at this point. Braxton says, hey, bro, I want to show you a build I'm thinking of and see what you think. Braxton, didn't we already do a build for you? Yeah. This was back in June. I did a custom build for you over at Alexander PCs already. Crash, I absolutely can pick one. That's kind of part of my job. Okay. So here's the thing. We're basically trying to do the same thing that we did just now, but with a lower budget, which is fine. It's definitely possible. But what if let me ask you this: what is the actual maximum budget for your PC? It's not much of a difference in the budget, really. I mean, if you're looking at a budget of like sub 1K and you add $500 to that, that can drastically change the build. Once you're above $3,000, it's not as drastic. Trust me. Sorry, Mike. I just saw you said I crushed their dreams on the Y70. I didn't mean to. They might thank me later. Yep, and I'm happy with it too. This is for my nephew. Okay, you'll need to submit the form. Because right now starting somebody's turn. So, okay. So, all right. Observer of thoughts. Here's what I would have said. Here's what I would say to that. There is an option right here for 3,500, and in the form, I have put in all capital letters, in bold, with an underline, what is your maximum budget? Maximum. Now, why does this matter? I will show you. Also, by the way, remember, it also says in bold right here, if you ignore the instructions in any of the questions, you agree to be roasted on stream. It's good-natured, don't worry. But the reason is this. You are now in the wrong bracket in terms of the feedback that I get from you guys, the results I get. Whereas you should be here, it skews the numbers a bit. And with this many people in each one, it actually skews the numbers quite a bit. It's a minor roast, if anything. But please pay attention to the instructions in the form, everybody who fills it out, because this does affect how I make content. So I know how to help the most people, that kind of thing. But anyways. But essentially, you can get the exact same PC, although we can change the case, color, stuff like that if it doesn't match what you're looking for, because this is basically what I would probably put you in. You're doing almost the exact same stuff. But let me ask you this question, okay? Before I make any assumptions. All right. Out of these three things, well, it's technically four, I guess, but gaming, streaming, content creation / video editing, how do you list those in order of priority? What's your priority here? Well, observer of thoughts, if you can go up on the budget, that means your maximum budget is that higher number. I treat this like an investment. You're going to be using this thing for years, and whatever you can comfortably put into it, you should, especially if you're not interested really in upgrading it down the line. Although, let me see what you put here for your answer. You are interested in upgrading your CPU down the line, which puts us on AMD, though I haven't really been doing Intel lately, of course, for a good reason. But yeah, if you can go up on the, if you're able to go up just when I ask you some dude on the internet asks you, hey, can you put in more? That means your maximum is at that level. Streaming, then gaming, then video editing. Okay. So video editing is the last priority. Here's what I'm going to do for yours. I'm going to do yours a little differently, okay? And we can go with Alexander, but it might lower some of the specs. But we can give it a shot real quick, because I've already got a build done here, and I just need to change it up a little bit. But here's what I'm going to say, okay? And bear with me on this, because, guys, I know what I have said. I'm the one who said it. However, what I'm seeing with 9000 series and the reviews that we've seen is I'm seeing what looks to be an incredible foundation for 9000 series X3D chips. So what I would do here, because streaming and gaming are the priorities, what happens when you have a 7950 X3D and you game while streaming? You get essentially a 7800 X3D. Functionally. So let's just put one of those in there for now. And then what will happen is this. If you get more serious about video editing, at that point, it's likely that the 9000 series X3D chips will have been out for a while, meaning they've gone down in price. Then you could upgrade to a 9950 X3D down the line. You said it yourself in the forum. You are interested in upgrading your CPU down the line. And I think saving that extra money now and spending it then, it's going to be the right choice for you. It says 1080p on your form, but I'm going to tell you, you should be shooting for 4K. That's my suggestion. If you're going to be doing, actually with streaming, having that extra pixel real estate can be really nice. Just going to say that. But let's just see real quick what we can do with Alexander PCs. We'll try to do something similar to this over here with a custom AMD build. And if it can't really come close in the specs, we will then prioritize getting the most for your dollar. But I think this can turn out really nice. Also, you know, lifetime warranty and all that stuff. If I may ask, and actually I'm going to look right here. You're looking for it to be in black. Okay. So if I may ask, what is the aesthetic you're going for? Are you looking for something like this, where it has all the glass? You really just want the performance and that's it. You're not too concerned about it. This does save you quite a bit because you don't have to buy a million fans like you do with an O11 case, because it doesn't come with any. And no, I'm not going to recommend any height cases if you're going to be doing streaming, and for all the reasons I belabored quite extensively previously. Yes. Doc Illa says, my SkyTech came in. It's incredible. Awesome. Happy to hear it. Honestly, guys, and then maybe this isn't going to make you trust me anymore, right? Or maybe it'll make you question me a little bit, but I'm going to say there's no science. There's no exact science to me choosing what SI to recommend. Like, if I recommend any of the SIs I've shown you before, that includes Paradox, Power GPU, you know, any of them. Stints built is awesome. It's any of those guys. It's because I trust them. They've built up trust within the community. I couldn't tell you necessarily what makes me choose one SI over the other in some cases. Sometimes it's like, oh no, this is obvious. This needs to be one of these builds. But there's a lot of them where it's like, I got like a dowsing rod to just like a pronged stick to just like figure out which one's the right one. But you'll notice though, as I do these, there's a lot of times where I say, I leave this up to you. Which one would you like me to pursue? Which one would you like to do? And that's because sometimes there isn't a clear best option. So I shouldn't necessarily decide for you. Do they make any silver GPUs? Actually, Crash, yes, that's the one that I just suggested. The MSI GPU has quite a bit of silver on it. It's quite nice. No RGB necessary. Okay. They could even go fractal at that point. But you could also go with this and save yourself $133, and you can just turn off the RGB. And the airflow in this is quite nice. So, yeah. I'm thinking that perhaps we go 7800X3D on this, and then wait it out. Like, you can edit, you can't, it's just because it's not as good at video editing as a 7950X3D doesn't mean it can't do it. So you edit video on this for now. If you keep it, if you're basically doing editing, you know, cutting down gameplay footage and doing simple stuff like that, it's not going to be a problem. And then once you start getting more serious about it, bam, 9000 series 3DV cache chips should have been out for a while. You get it at a discount. All the BIOS and the Agisa will be all sorted, and you'll have a better experience that way. So that's just I'm just venturing a guess here that I think that that's going to work out. We will go X670E Tomahawk. Actually, I'd like to go -F if I can. The Strix X670E-F is a, I think, underrated motherboard. I think it's a great board. It has tons of I/O. You know, again, 4 M.2 sockets on board. Where is it? Or is it 5? And that's a lot. 64 gigs of RAM. Done. There you go. Actually, we'll go with the non-RGB and save you $17. There you go. And to match the case, we'll go with the Trinity SL Infinity AIO. We'll remove this, put on one of these, 2 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade. And what are we doing here? Oh, this might be perfectly within budget, actually. Yeah. All right. Sick. So this is a 4080 Super, all right? And it's actually a very unique one. This is the 4080 Super Expert. Zach doesn't like it. of Zach's Tech Turf. I think it looks pretty sick. Like it doesn't, I don't, you know, it's got its own kind of colorway to it. It's really slick looking. I saw this thing at CES in January this year, and I was like, kudos to MSI for not following the same thing as all the other AIBs. Although it is very reminiscent, I know, very reminiscent of the FE cards. It is not a carbon copy, which I like. So much Diablo 4. I played Diablo 4 for like a month after it came out. And you know who got me to do that? Roby did. Roby peer pressured me into playing Diablo 4. But I did enjoy it for that time. I'm honestly someone who doesn't do a lot of like end game content, so I had my fun with it. John D212 says it has old school looks. I guess it has kind of a patinaed look to it, which is cool. 1000 watt power supply, 7800X3D. I mean, this is a great gaming. This is going to do all the gaming and streaming that you need. And we still fit 64 gigs of RAM in there, so you're not going to run low on RAM anytime soon when you start editing video. But when you need more cores for your CPU, at that point, it should be the case that the 9000 series 3D V-Cache chips have been out for a while and and the BIOS has matured. And the prices have dropped. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Almost out of ice cream. Oh no, that's terrible. But you know, they make more ice cream. In fact, it's like unlimited ice cream out there when you think about it. All right, AB2, hope everything's well. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate you. My RGB is on rainbow. It's so cool. What's up, Billy K? How's it going? Soldier Boy says, who's a lottery winner with a budget of 10 grand? Some people do these as like a business expense, actually, when you think about it. Especially in the case of a prosumer customer. Tax write-off, I guess. I don't know. So, there's a build. Tell TJ I said hi, please. I really didn't do many this. I did 2 this whole stream, but it's good because I'm tired, very tired, and I just. I don't know for those who saw on Twitter or in the announcements in the Discord. With my mom having surgery this week, it's been pretty rough. And it's not like I spend every waking hour over there, but when I'm not, I'm worried. She's pushing 80 here pretty soon, so she had me late. I was born pretty late in her life, so yeah. Been stressful, but I'm glad we got this done. Who else is on the list, by the way? Anybody else on the list that I haven't helped out yet? You got to let me know. If someone said that they're on the list and did not type my name in to let me know, I will have missed that. You got to make sure I see it. You can even in Twitch chat, you can use channel points to highlight your chat, so it makes it extra bright. I get to see it. And in YouTube chat, I don't like to encourage people to do super chats because that costs you money. But if you type my name in there and type it correctly, there you go. Yo, thank you for the 100 biddies. I appreciate that. Thank you, Observer of Thoughts. Nice. Thank you, Brayet Horn. You are well. Come. Crash says major surgery. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're getting a knee replaced is. And the crazy thing is, it is like her 4th knee surgery in the last year because there were complications after complications after complications. It's been, there have been times where I've had to go radio silent for a while. Usually had something to do with this. It's been a roller coaster for sure, but she's a tough cookie. But if I don't like to I hate to dip if we are done, but I haven't slept in like 2 days. Also, there's a nationwide shortage on my chronic fatigue syndrome meds right now, so that's helpful. Cherokee, no, there's no update to that yet. That is on the back burner until I can get that fixed or get a new motherboard. And as you can imagine, getting an X399 motherboard at this point, I haven't asked PC World yet because they already shipped me so much cool stuff. I don't want to ask them for more. But at this point, it's a little hard to find one that I would like trust more than the one that I got from PC World. Yeah, knees are never fun, absolutely. And I worry about it because I myself, for my whole life, my knees have hyperextended about 17 degrees. It's crazy. If I were to show you guys, you'd be like, ah! But I've learned to stand up straight without having them be hyperextended all the time. But with me being overweight as I am, and as I have been for a few years, and I, of course, spent a good portion of my life, I was fit for a long time, and there was times where I wasn't. Usually coincided to when I was either practicing or not practicing martial arts, funny enough. Anyway, funny how that works. But yeah, I've got like, I had a physical therapist tell me that I have the knees, when I was like 35 years old, and I had a physical therapist tell me that I have the knees of a 65-year-old with bad knees. It's like, okay, thanks. You got any extra cartilage that I could just like put in there? That'd be great. So yeah, I might end up having the same kind of thing having done to me, knee replacement surgery. I would be part machine, and it'll be amazing. All right. By then they will be cybernetic, and I'll be able to jump tall buildings and stuff. That'd be awesome. Observer thoughts, of course. Happy to help out. Camera does a good job at making you look slim. Thank you, Crash. I appreciate it. It's all movie magic, honestly. I just use a wide angle lens, and it makes me look narrower by comparison. I'm good on the CBD gummies. They sell them here. Yeah, I'm good. Warrior Sailor, Sir Braithorn, when you ask using the PC for streaming, is that streaming like you were doing sending or receiving? No, it's like what I'm doing right now, not what you're doing right now. Like what you're doing is watching a stream. That's just watching content. Doesn't take any kind of special hardware for that. What I'm doing, broadcasting, audio, video, fancy effects and stuff, and that's not that fancy of an effect, but I did create it on this PC, so that was a video editing thing. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're going to do streaming, I'm not talking about watching Netflix or Crunchyroll. Bray with some chrome. Oh yeah. If they have a thing where it's like a voluntary cybernetic limb, don't doubt that I'm going to be first in line. And here's the thing. Those people out there who are like, I would cut off my arm to get like a cybernetic arm. Why would you do that? Just have like 3 arms or 4. Go full Goro, man. Why remove, like, I'm 6'5" and I inherited my father's knees. Thanks, Dad. Well, I'm 5'10" and I guess I have my mom's knees. Thanks, Mom. Ray, we watched the Borderlands movie with me. I'm not really into the IP. I hope it's good, though, and I hope you enjoy it. The Deadpool Wolverine movie was amazing, though. Like, I can recommend that one to anybody who likes any of that IP. Thank you. That explains a lot for me. Of course, no problem. Well, that's it. Yeah, guys. I haven't slept in like 2 days, so I'm gonna call it here because no one else has filled out the form. For anybody else who's looking for help, check the link in the description if you're on YouTube and fill out that form there to get on the list to get help. And we'll be back on Tuesday doing that. And if you're on Twitch, that link has been popping up constantly. I'll post it one more time so that you can fill out the form and get in line to get help, free help next time. For those who didn't get any help, if that just didn't sound off in the stream when I asked who was here, you could always get free help in our Discord with our volunteer techies in the Tech Questions Forum. It's basically like filling out the form that I just linked to you guys. So There's a Discord link in the Twitch chat and over on YouTube chat in the description. Discord link is right there. But I think, hold on. Hey, how many people are here? We got 31 people. If you're on Twitch, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave me. You know how, you know what makes me happy. You guys know what makes me happy. I like rating people, okay? So if you're in the YouTube chat right now, please come over to Twitch. The link is in the YouTube description. Just do that. I don't even think you need to make an account. You just watch as a guest, and then you come over with the raid, I think. Probably. Unga Spunga, yo, it's my birthday today. Could you be a bro and help me pick a best bang for your buck around $1,000? Sorry, Unga Spunga. It doesn't quite work like that. You have to fill out a form because you need to give me more info. But please do that. And like my mom had surgery. I've been awake for a couple days, and I've already streamed for a few hours here, so I'm feeling it, and I won't be able to help you very much right now. So fill out that form and know that you're going to get free help, or you can go to the Discord and get help from our volunteer techies in the Tech Questions forum. They help people out all the time, and they're really nice, and that's also free. I'll be up for another hour, so sure, I'll stick for a raid. Heck yes. Crash, I wouldn't go that route. I mean, I all you guys are awesome, and I appreciate all of you for hanging out, but just don't make it weird, buddy. Don't make it weird. I appreciate all of y'all. All of y'all are so cool for letting me do this for a living. Thank you so much. But I can't have you saying that because Cuddles might get jealous, Crash. Because Cuddles is my best bud, and he knows that. And he's. You don't think Canadians can get jealous? You don't think Canadians can get jealous? They can. I don't have anything else significant to say about that. It might have been shocking to you. All right, DJ Simple Green, I appreciate you. Thank you. And for those of you who are coming in for the raid, thank you for that. That just makes me happy. Because I know what it's like to be a streamer, and it can be tiring and exhausting. And when you have a raid come in, it can make you feel better. Yeah. So let's see what we got. We got Liger. I haven't rated Liger Zero in a while. Liger Zero is awesome and positive and a very, very cool person. Andy, though, I don't think I've ever rated Andy. Andy has 200 people there, though. But I've never had the chance to raid Andy Lasso. And the reason is I always end stream too late. I don't think I can miss this. Liger, if you hear this at some point, I will raid you soon, okay? Libra, we just raided you recently. Form is streaming. I haven't talked to Form in a while. But yeah, let's raid Andy. You guys know, if you guys like... oh, Emmett is in there? Sick. He's playing a Hollow Knight multi-world randomizer with Emmett. This is so freaking cool. I'm so excited to have you guys go join them. And Emmett's going to see that I raided Andy instead of him, but that's okay. Too bad we can't raid Adam Savage. Yeah, true. I just saw, sorry, have a good summer, my man. You got it, Unga Spunga. Fill out the form. Get on the list. I'll help you out on Tuesday. Or get help in the Discord. We got lots of routes for you to get help there. But yes, guys, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to say one nice thing to the streamer, or here's what else you could do, all right? We're going to do this in just a second, but I'm going to make this for you, okay? Oh, I have to take out any hold on. I got to take out part of this because it is for subs only, but we're going to make it to where even if you're just following, you can do this, okay? Here we go. That's my... All right, all you got to do is copy and paste this. if you're in the Twitch chat, just copy that, paste it when we get in. Even if you're going to be leaving, it just adds a little bit of hype to the equation, and that will I will definitely appreciate that. Let's go, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you on Sunday for the gaming stream. And on oh, wait a minute. No way. No way. Why isn't this showing up for me? I didn't click. Oh no, Zach is streaming. Oh, it says stream ending. Damn it, Zach. Zach. No, imagine if he rated me right now. I was about to change this up completely. I was so about to change this to rating Zach's Tech Turf. But he's ending stream right now. He's rated me a few times, but with like 400 people. And me rating with like 31, I would, yeah, you guys are amazing. And having that many viewers is great. 31, 51, 100, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a lot. But like when we do a big giveaway or something and we have like 150, 200 people in here, then I'll raid Zach and it'll be appropriate. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and we are going to raid Andy Lasso. Let's do that. And guys, if you like any kind of speedrunning content, you best be following both Andy and Emmett. They're both awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll see you on Sunday. I don't know Crash. I don't know who has all that in their streams. Daddy Fingers, that's not really how I do it. Check the link in the description of the YouTube chat. Fill out that form because I don't know which one's right for you because I don't know who you are and like what works for you. Fill out the form. You give me info, then I can give you an answer. Come back on Tuesday and I can make a recommendation. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'll see y'all on Sunday for the gaming stream, Tuesday for more PC matchmaking. And until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!